Wow. You could definitely say, my pretties, I wasn't really surprised. Well, I've seen one of the most insane, gory anime shows I've ever seen. And no, it's not like, pics of, well, tie-ties or whatever, like Bill Jensen posts, is it? But, wow, this story is definitely one of the most goriest ones of anime I've ever seen. I mean, I could be wrong. There are a couple other animes that are just just as bad, but it just went on as a series. Now, this TV series, started the first episode from July 8th of 2011, and with the final episode being on September 30th, 2011. So, this one is definitely one of the most goriest anime I have ever seen. I mean, to be honest, this is definitely something I have never expected to see. Which, of course, it's pretty much Blood Sea is a Japanese animated television series, also known as anime. So basically, it takes place somewhere in down the shore of Lake Suwa in Nagano, no Prefecture, and of course we get this main character of known as the Shrine Maiden of the Shinto shrine run by her father Taigoshi. She named Saya Kusagari. Now she's pretty much just a high school friendly clumsy high school girl, and she basically kills any creatures that these monsters that stalk humans to feed on their blood. So of course this character Saya Kaskari has like this art of the sword, and she basically kills a bunch of creatures with it, whatever it be. Of course there is an English dub of this series, which of course she is voiced by Alexis Tipton, which I have never heard of this actress, but I do know who the Japanese actress is. But she is definitely one actress I have to say. I never expected her to be in an anime because I see, well, she's been in a couple anime, characters, doing pretty much well, well, she basically voices, the English dub of the anime characters, and she's still doing these English dubs to this day as far as I'm concerned. Of course, she did a few feature films as well. So this definitely something. I mean, being the English dub, I thought the English dub was a lot better than the Japanese dub. That's just me though, personally. So I mean, we've got a lot of characters who pretty much much just get eaten. I mean, there was a lot of the messed up stuff that was in Blood Sea, such as, well, there is related films like Blood Sea The Last Dark, which is based off of the Japanese manga thing or whatever. And we do have Arusa Girl Blood Sea Another Story, which came out in 2017. And we do have a couple others. Now, of course, most of these episodes are pretty gory. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty gory and they're pretty messed up. So basically, I was gonna do this for Shadows and Pretties, but I thought, you know what, maybe I should do this in a separate film. I've seen people on YouTube talking about this film, and they share their experience seeing how gory and messed up the film is. However, I am just basically stating, how messed up this anime is. I mean, while I could say I have seen anime, like High School Zombie of the High School of the Dead or something. I think that was the one. I could be wrong, however, but I do remember seeing something like that in anime history. And honestly, while it is pretty messed up, but I personally really thought it was really enjoyable. I mean, that one was at least enjoyable, and then at least I got, some kick out of it because, well, this was awesome. And yeah, I can definitely say right now I've seen a lot of gory stuff on the internet. I've seen worse, so this isn't the first time I'm seeing this messed up series. But I mean, I've seen this series, I think 2 years ago, or maybe it was 2020. I only heard about it because I was looking online for some good anime shows to watch, and this one happened to be popped up in my recommendations. Like, I was surprised. However, though, I think this series definitely was probably one of the top 10 goriest anime I've ever seen, which I may consider maybe doing a top 10 video on that, but yeah. So, despite this, I do have a lot of things to say about it, and I am going to be brutally honest. And I think I have every right to be brutally honest about it. So, this anime having to be one of the most goriest animes, like I've stated earlier. It's one of the most goriest ones I've ever seen on the earth. However, I'm definitely going to have to say this, and I quote, that while the characters, the plot seems interesting and stuff, it's just really graphic and gory. I mean, you're seeing a lot of graphic stuff, and it honestly, there's honestly a whole bunch of deaths in, this series that honestly, pretty much, that's all what it is, almost like pretty much everybody dies. So, of course, we do have, a lot of, well, graphic stuff. Now, this series did get released on Blu-ray and DVD. They were published in Japan by Aniplex, which is a Japanese anime and music production company. And the series has 6 volumes between, late 2011 and early 2012. And the series, the English dub, North American licensing was handled by Funimation, and a box set contained the releases for it on Blu-ray and DVD. However, in Australia, the series was licensed by Madman Entertainment, which is a Australian company that released these type of films or whatever. And of course, in Europe, the series was distributed by Anchor Bay Entertainment, which is the same people that released a couple Thomas tapes, I think, back in the day. I mean, I can't really exactly remember, but oh boy, this anime was definitely one of those animes that I have to say was the most goriest out of all of them. I mean, if there's videos of this on YouTube, which I'm not going to be showing any clips or anything, because the deaths on it are very gory. I mean, while the deaths seem really, unsettling, because a lot of anime that includes, deaths like these, I mean, most of them are pretty gory. And honestly, it is pretty messed up and gory, whatever it be, going from, people, getting eaten, people getting split, in half by these creatures. It honestly was really gory. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen gory stuff in movies and games and even anime before, but this is the most insane, well, series that I've ever seen. It's the one of the most insane series I've ever, well, had seen in a long time, because honestly, there's a lot of deaths in this that honestly, most of it is pretty gory. And the monsters, while the designs and even the drawing, the animating characters are pretty cool, but the deaths, oh my god, the deaths are like one of the most goriest stuff I've ever seen. And it's like you can't go through a single episode of this without having to see gore in it. I mean, there's a lot of deaths in there. Like, there's people getting, ripped off, or somebody, getting their guts ripped open. I mean, it's just graphic. And no, I don't plan to, link any of these deaths in the description, but you can also already find them on YouTube as well. This is actually like one of the most goriest anime I've ever seen. I mean, it's just really messed up in detail. And honestly, there was this one of the anime girls, one of them was the twins with another. got, pulled apart by this monster. And honestly, it was really, really graphic in a way because it, it's honestly was it's a pretty graphic series in my honest eyes. I honestly have to say, I've seen worse anime made that it goes gory crazy, but this one just takes the cake. Like literally, this one just does take the cake. It is one of the worst animes I've seen. Now, I'm not saying the worst, but I mean the devs were all right for what they are. But however, I mean the plot of it seems interesting, but at the same time the devs were pretty graphic. Like most of them were pretty graphic and involved people getting killed a lot. You do see a lot of that. I mean, I've seen worse, I'm not going to lie, but this type of series is something that I don't see anybody who is sensitive to see this. So, anybody who's sensitive to this kind of thing, I do not recommend watching this series. Because honestly, if you're sensitive to gore or whatever, then this series is not for you. Also, I will say right now, when I first watched the series, honestly, there was like deaths that were so nauseating. Like I kind of almost felt really sick almost seeing one of these, but this is one of the few anime clips or anime movies or series that managed to legitimately make me almost sick. Like I almost became sick to my stomach. That was just how graphic this show is. Now, so I mean, in all due reality, I've seen worse before, but a lot of the deaths in there are just graphic. They're like, you could look it up on YouTube and you'll see how graphic they are. I mean, now this one was just talk about the early 2010s. This honestly was just one of them that happens to be one of the most goriest series I've ever seen. Now, I will say right now that if you're an anime fan, I will say right now, if you're sensitive to gore, do not watch this series. But if you think you can handle it, or if you think, or if you have seen worse and can handle stuff like this, then I cannot say you should or whatever. But this is one of the most gory series that I don't recommend watching if you're squeamish to it. So, I guess with that being said, that's just pretty much all I have to really say. I know it's not really long, but I thought, I talk about this series because this just came to my mind in a long time. But yeah, this is just one thing I have to really say. It's definitely one of the most graphic animes I have ever seen. But I mean, I've seen other graphic animes before, but this one was way, hey, went from 1 to 100 pretty quickly. But yeah, I guess with that being said and that being the case, if you guys like this movie, well, this series, I will respect your opinion. And if you do not like this series, then I respect your opinion too. Me, I don't really care for this anime because it's gory. I mean, I can handle gore in a lot out of movies and that, but this one, I kind of mixed, but mostly I don't really care for this anime. But if you like it, that's fine. I respect your opinion. So, anyways, what did you guys think of this anime? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm the Lion Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, if you want to follow my DeviantArt as well as my Twitter, links to those will be in the About page section down below so you guys can go watch it. And as always, be sure to subscribe to my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, so that way you guys will be able to, go check them out if you want to. So, yeah. Anyways, links to those will be in the About section, so that way you guys will not miss, an upload or whatever on my backup. Now, like I said, if I'm missing anything in this anime that I did not speak of or whatever, you guys can let me know in the comments below. So, anyways, that's all I have to say. So, my pretties, I'll be seeing you all in the next video. And like always, please roll the outro because I'm out.